Hi everyone, welcome again on today's episode of the Ebenezer Insights, and we've been receiving comments and reviews about the videos we're sharing, and we appreciate that. Keep it coming, and on the WhatsApp platforms too, keep your questions coming, and we are here to get it better, right? Thank you. Now, on this episode, we'll continue sharing tips about guides on applying for the 2024 Mandela Washington Fellowship. We've been receiving questions about if we need passports, or if you need international passports before you start applying for this fellowship. The answer is no. You don't need an international passport before you can start applying, but rather you would need an international passport after you've been selected. But then you could still wait after you've been selected to start for the process of your international passport. On subsequent episodes, we'll get to share the questions, frequently asked questions, and provide answers for them. But for this episode, we'll keep it running. Right, moving on. The yearly Young African Leaders Initiative is made up of 3 funds. You have the Mandela Washington Fellowship, you have the yearly regional centers, and then you have the yearly network. The yearly network for me is the Oga Patapata of them all. Why? Is because it's an aggregation of both the Mandela Washington Fellows, the alumni, and of course the regional centers, the yearly regional centers. Then of course the young African professionals that have not made it to the Mandela Washington or the regional centers. Now there are young Africans doing massive and amazing jobs in your community, in your state. And yearly network, as I said, is the Oga Patapata, is in every state of at least the sub-Saharan African countries. Yes, and you can join one. And from my information, the yearly networks, there has been discussions and good virtual and physical meetings on the tips and guidelines for this application. So follow up, join the yearly network, in as much as I believe the yearly network will improve your chances of being selected. Yes, because yearly network will improve your chances of being selected. Yes, but still join the yearly network. You will get more tips on applying for the Mandela Washington Fellowship. So follow up and ask questions. Check Facebook, check online for the yearly network in my region, and find one and join one. Right now, moving on the application guide, you will find out that the deadline for the application is coming soon. You need to start. Don't procrastinate. Start building up your essays so that you will not get rushing on the dying minutes. So you won't start rushing on the dying minutes. Start on time, gather your essays on time, gather your materials on time, gather your documents on time, and start. Also, as you're starting on time, don't hurry to submit. Don't hurry to submit. Allow your essays to be reviewed. Send your essays to mentors and all, and ask them to review. Right now, on not hurrying to submit, try and save your work. That's tip number 2. Try and save your work. Save as you go. Now, saving as you go, you have to click on save and return. Don't click on save and continue. If you see it on the lower parts of the application, or where you want to move to the next one or the previous one, you find save and continue. You will also find save and return. Please click on save and return. Click on save and return. If you click on save and continue, you may not be able to get back on that field to edit that, right? So then, as you're doing that, you need to build up your essays. As along the line. You can skip next to get to the last slide and see the questions or the essays that are asking, and start building up your essays. Now, I mentioned this in the past video. In the past episode about building up your essays according to your institute track. Build up your essays according to your institute track. You see in the past videos of the institute tracks. If you're sticking to public management, build your essays around public management. If you're sticking to the business management track, build your essays around. Now it's safe if you have 2 institute tracks where you feel it's favorable. just build it in between. So it's okay to have two tracks and pick one as number one and the other one as number two, like first choice and second choice. Now that's that with building up your essays. On starting up the application, you see on the field where you submit your professional experience or your academic experience, you find out a column or a section asking about description. It's important, as we've received questions severally about this, it's important to share this video. That description column on your professional experience or your academic experience is very important. It's an avenue for you to back up your professional experience or your academic experience. Now, for the academic experience, let's say the academic experience you're picking is for your BSc or for your secondary school, your WAEC, or let me pick the BSc. It's for your BSc. Now, you've put in the course of study, the field. On the description, you should write what you did or what you studied, particularly key elements or the key courses you studied, and also buttress your research work on that academic experience. If it's a PhD work, buttress. If it's a master's work, buttress your research work or your project work, your thesis. Right? These are the key elements of what you studied. But then on the professional experience, description is just as if you're writing your CV. Description is about the roles you played in that position. Yes, you may be like an office assistant. Now build up on the description. Write the roles, your day-to-day activities, the key things you did. If you're sorting out logistics, if you're sorting out procurement, if you know your job better. But that still boils down to your ability to tell stories. I keep emphasizing that the Mandela Washington Fellowship is very competitive. Mandela Washington Fellowship is very competitive, and it boils down on how you are able to build up your stories, how you are able to make your stories catchy. The readers of this application are looking out for catchy stories. Now build up your stories to be catchy. On this description column, don't just write casual descriptive roles. Make your descriptive roles to be able to capture make your descriptive column, to be able to capture the descriptive roles you played. Find out words that are not just mere words that are able to be able to buttress your roles. If you're an office assistant, fine. Don't just write on the description column running around to make photocopies of machines. No, use better description roles. Now, if your job role is maybe as a salesperson, don't just say writing receipts or writing invoice. Find out better words. So if you have questions, you can call us or you can check us on WhatsApp and ask your questions and describe your role for us, and we'll be able to guide you on how to package or how to put up that in a story that makes sense. Right? That's about that on this episode. On subsequent episodes, we would be going detailed one-on-one questions on the essays. One-on-one questions. Now, for building up your essays, you may find questions like what specific skills or what specific experience or what specific knowledge that you seek to acquire from this Mandela Washington Experience Fellowship that you may not be able to acquire from another opportunity. Now, these questions are asking you for skills that you seek to acquire. You should look out for skills along your track. Now, if your track is on the civic engagement track, you should be looking at for skills like community engagement. You should be looking at skills like, say, advocacy. You should be looking at skills like community mobilization, skills like needs assessment, skills like communication skills like critical thinking. And others, if you're on business, you should be looking at skills like financial analysis. You should be looking at find skills that are in line with your track. On public management, you will find skills like policy analysis, also advocacy, and also these and more will be sorted out or will be answered or will be discussed on the subsequent episodes. So follow up on the subsequent episodes. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and click on the notification button for subsequent videos. right? And we appreciate your comments, we appreciate your WhatsApp messages. We have mentors available to help review your essays and to help answer your questions. So keep it coming, guys. See you